Hey everybody, I'm Tyler Wysong. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel today. Recently, I put out a poll on my YouTube community and asked if there's anything I could clear up, because I do want this channel to be geared toward helping you figure out whatever it is you need to figure out so that you can sing with more range, power, and freedom. And the number one thing that people were saying was if I could clear up how to add weight or fullness to the mixed voice so that the mix isn't thin and heady. Now, that's an interesting question, because I would argue that if your mixed voice sounds thin and heady, it's probably because you're not in your mixed voice yet. The mix has a particular sound that already has fullness and depth engaged. Now, you can sing in a head mix, and let me just demonstrate what that would be real quick. That's kind of like more of a heady type mix. It floats a lot. I almost feel like I'm using a laryngeal mode 2, which is more of like a head voice, which is the head voice laryngeal mode, where the chords are thinned out and you're not really engaging as much depth. I might have been engaging a little bit more depth there, but not nearly as much as what the kind of full, robust mixed voice would be, which would sound like this. So that has more depth to the sound already. I don't really feel like I'm working much harder, but it does feel different than the light mix. They're different acoustic strategies, but then it's not always just acoustics, because the acoustics are affected by what you're doing with the muscles. But if any of you need a refresher on this stuff, I'll link down below to some of my recent videos on performance and harmonics. And that is, it'll kind of give you a great idea of how I define registration, because I define it by formant and harmonic relationships, which is really helpful because you can measure exactly what it is you're talking about. So possibly some of you are still even just in your head voice. So you might be going, or but that's honestly just a falsetto-y kind of head voice, and that's fine. There's reasons for that, and you need to develop that. But if that's the sound you're making, it's not that you need to learn to add weight to that. It's just that you haven't found the mixed voice yet. So today, I want to give you an exercise for those of you who feel like this is you, of how to find your mixed voice, how to find the right laryngeal mode, but also the right shape for the vowel, because the shape for the vowel affects things quite a bit. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your hands and make a little funnel like this, and you're going to sing. You can do any exercise in here. I'm going to just do a straight vowel. I'm going to say O. But you could do mum, mum, mum. You could do nay, nay, nay. You could do any of the exercises you're working on. I'm just going to do an O. But if I cover my mouth and I go, oh, it sounds, very muffled, right? And you don't want any air escaping here or around the mouth. So if I say, oh, I landed in the exact same place I found when my hands were over my mouth, and I didn't change a thing or I tried not to, when I took the hands away. And I did land into that kind of bigger, robust mix that sounds fuller. It sounds more chesty, but just because by nature, when you sing in a mixed voice like that, it will sound that way. You don't have to make it sound like anything. You just have to find that coordination. So try using this. Now you can take this up the scale a bit. if you're in the mix like that, it just feels easier. It feels better than just trying to take your chest voice all the way up there, for sure. But it does feel different than just a pure head voice. You need a head voice. It's very helpful and you need to develop that. But it's just a different thing than singing in a mix. And you guys, I really want to be very transparent on this channel. I don't want there to be any secrets. I don't want to present my material in a mysterious way. I just want to be very, very transparent. And this is why I recommend people get spectrograms to practice with. Like voice print is one, Voce Vista is another one. And I'm sure there's plenty out there that you could get for free that are great. I like voice print and Voce Vista. They're fantastic. I'll link to them below. And if you just start training with things like voice print or Voce Vista, and you start to visually track and see what you're doing in real time, you can know either I'm doing it or I'm not. And you don't just rely on a sensation or a sound at first. Eventually, that is what we need to rely on. But while you're training, why not use the advantage of having a visual representation? I don't think it's that you need to add weight to your mixed voice. I think you have to find it first. I think you need to train it. And this is a really great exercise. I hope that it helps you to find your mixed voice. When in doubt, cover your mouth and you will get the benefit of singing in a semi-occlusion, which will influence you out of your chest voice and out of your head voice, and hopefully you'll land in that mixed voice. It's okay that it takes a little bit of time to train it. You would never expect to plant a seed in the soil and then in an hour or in less than 10 minutes have a plant. It takes a little bit of time, and that's okay. So plant your seeds because you will reap what you sow. But you will not reap anything if you don't sow anything. So make sure you're working at this daily and make sure you're putting in the time. And it's not the quantity of time, but the quality of time. 20 minutes of deliberate practice every single day is so much better than hours of just mindless practice of running through scales, doing the same thing over and over and over. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. I hope this video helped some of you out there today. If it did, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit the notification bell as well so that you're notified when I make more videos like this. Until next time.